So I figured out how to turn Claude Code into the best business partner I could ask for, and I made 3 times more money in the past 30 days.
I used to burn whole weekends building stuff nobody wanted, and this clip just showed me why.
Fix. You ask Claude to start challenging you and pushing back and playing devil's advocate before it builds anything or before it approves any plan. And that's the whole idea behind a skill that I built called Roast. It basically pulls Claude out of agreement mode and it forces it to stress test your idea and its own work instead of just approving everything.
See, my AI kept telling me every plan was amazing, so I never stopped to question them. Here he does the total opposite and makes it tear his own idea apart on purpose. A whole panel of critics hunts down every flaw before he wastes a single minute.
So basically what Roast does is it spins up a whole council of personas and they attack it from different angles. So you've got a contrarian whose only job is to find fatal flaws. We've got an expansionist who's looking for the biggest upside. We've got a first principles thinker who's working with no outside context, just pure logic. We've got a deep researcher that actually goes in and pulls out a bunch of real market data and competitor pricing off the web. And then we have the buyer, who actually role plays being your customer and tells you straight up if they buy the thing or not.
I figured that was the whole fix, until I saw the next thing my AI was quietly messing up.
Money. The fix here is to make Claude check its own work before it ever hands it to you, and then also having it check the work that it already handed to you. So think about like how cars get built. At the factory, they test out every single piece of the car on its own, and then when the whole thing comes together, they test it a bunch again. And that's basically the methodology that we want to work with when we're using Claude.
It looked finished, so I shipped it and moved on. Turns out half the work never happened. It just said it did. Here he fixes that. He makes the AI check its own work, like a car factory testing every single part before it rolls out.
This one's a little different from the others because it's not really like a pre-built skill that I can give you. Like I said, it's more of a methodology. It's more of a mindset shift. And there's 2 parts to it. Like I said, the first part's verification. Before Claude ever hands something to you, you want it to check the work as it goes. And then of course, by the time it tells you it's done, you stress test it more and you try to find those edge cases that you collectively didn't think about, both you and Claude.
I thought working output was the finish line, until my AI started getting weirdly dumber the longer I used it.
For the right use case. So the fix here is handling your context properly. There's a lot of things that go into that, but basically just making sure that you're taking care of that and it's on top of your mind before it quietly wrecks your outputs. And there's a couple commands worth knowing here. So first one is using /context, which lets you see exactly what's eating up your context window. /clear lets you wipe the whole thing and start fresh.
The more I piled into one chat, the more it forgot, and the more mistakes slipped through. It's like a desk buried in paper. You can't find anything anymore. Here he clears the desk. He checks what's clogging it, wipes it clean, and leaves himself a note so he never loses his place.
Instead of using /compact, which like compacts your conversation and then you can, keep going, I built my own custom skill called /session handoff.
Quick pause here. If what I'm sharing is making sense and you're thinking, okay, but how does this actually work in a real system? I've put together a free training that walks through the exact structure and process we use. It's not theory, it's a behind-the-scenes walkthrough of how the system is set up, how the pieces fit together, and how most of the heavy lifting is already handled, so you're not starting from zero. If you want to see how it's structured and decide for yourself if it's a good fit, the link is in the description. All right, let's jump back in.
So before I ever clear anything, I run session handoff. It writes me a summary of everything that matters, what we're working on, the key files we produced, or key files that hold information, any open decisions that I've made, and then basically exactly where to pick back.
I figured a clean, sharp AI was all I needed, until I realized the real bottleneck was me.
Is basically a separate Claude that gets its own task and its own clean context window. It works all alone by itself, and then it reports back to that main terminal session. So instead of one worker doing everything, one step at a time, you have a whole team of them running, and they're each working on one of the pieces at once.
I could only point it in one direction at a time, so everything waited on me. Here he clones it into a whole team that all work at once, each on a different piece. Then he sets a finish line and walks away while it keeps going until the job is truly done.
So personally, if I'm doing something like planning out a YouTube video, I'll maybe have one doing research on a certain topic and one doing research on another, and one maybe looking through comments on past videos. The key here is anything that can happen in parallel, independent of each other. I will spin up sub-agents to do that. And then when everything gets synthesized together, I can take that output and just do whatever I need to do with it. And then I'm gonna add one more thing on top of that, which makes it feel completely like the future, and that is a command called /goal. So using goal, that lets you set a finish
That's the moment I stopped being the worker and became the boss. And the side hustle I almost gave up on finally started moving without me. Whether you like this video or not, really hit the like button. You know why? Because I gave you the exact training for free that our paid members get. This video is going to be in the members area for the paid members, and you got it for free. So yes, don't you think I deserve a like? Go ahead, like it, share with your friends and family, subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. Make sure you switch on the notification bell button, and of course, ask your friends and family to subscribe and switch on the notification bell button. It's very important for us because we have a goal of getting 10,000 subscribers in next 3 months. And the only way we can do that is when you hit the subscribe button. Go ahead, do it. And for more money techniques, watch these videos and we will see you on the next one.